In the bustling town of Kundala, there lived a humble man named Jabari. He was a cobbler by trade, known for his quiet demeanor and kind heart. While many in the town sought wealth and recognition, Jabari lived by a different principle, doing good not for applause, but because it was right. Every morning he sat by his small workshop, fixing shoes for a fair price, often lowering his rates for those who couldn't afford much. But what no one knew was that Jabari had another habit, one that made no sound, left no trace, but changed lives in ways unseen. At night, when the streets were silent and most of Kundula slept, Jabari would move through the alleys with a bag of bread and small pouches of coins. He left them near the doors of the poor, never waiting to be seen or thanked. One evening, as he placed a loaf of bread at an old widow's doorstep, he overheard voices from a nearby house. "Who keeps leaving these gifts?" a woman wondered. "I don't know," her husband replied. "But whoever it is, may the gods bless them." Jabari smiled and walked away, content that a family had food for the night. But not everyone was impressed with his quiet ways. The town was filled with those who measured success in riches and status, and to them, Jabari's simplicity was foolishness. Among the wealthiest in Kundula was Munzi Baraka, a merchant who loved being the center of admiration. He donated publicly, ensuring crowds saw his generosity. But in private, he scoffed at those who helped without recognition. "Jabari is a fool," Baraka often said. "He could be successful, yet he wastes his time on charity. What does he gain? Nothing." Others in the market laughed along. They saw no sense in giving without being praised. One day Baraka confronted Jabari. "Why do you do all this in secret?" he sneered. "If you want to help, do it like me, where people can see and honor you." Jabari simply smiled. "Goodness is not about being seen, but about making a difference. A seed does not announce its growth, yet it turns into a great tree." Baraka laughed and walked away, shaking his head. Years passed, and Kundula faced hardship. A terrible drought struck, and the marketplace that once flourished now struggled. Food became scarce, and even the wealthy began to feel the sting of hunger. Munzi Baraka, once powerful, found himself struggling. His stores had run empty, and the people who once admired him turned away, unable to offer help. One evening, Baraka sat outside his grand but empty house, his stomach tight with hunger. Suddenly he saw a small loaf of bread placed at his doorstep. Confused, he picked it up and looked around. No one was there. The next evening it happened again, and the next. Curiosity got the better of him. He stayed awake and hid behind his door, determined to catch his mysterious benefactor. At the stroke of midnight, a shadow appeared, a familiar figure placing bread gently at his door. "Jabari?" Baraka gasped. Jabari turned, surprised but calm. "Why are you doing this?" Baraka asked, ashamed. "Because you need it," Jabari said simply. "The same way others once did." Baraka fell silent. He had mocked this man, ridiculed his ways, yet here Jabari was, offering help without seeking thanks. Tears welled in Baraka's eyes. He realized the truth. Greatness was not in being praised, but in making an impact, whether seen or unseen. The town of Kundula slowly recovered, and so did Baraka, but he was no longer the same man. Instead of donating for attention, he now gave quietly, just as Jabari had. He learned that true generosity needed no audience. And though some still whispered about Jabari's strange ways, he never stopped. For he knew that kindness, whether acknowledged or not, always found its way back to the world. Do not dwell on what people say about your actions. True goodness is not about applause, but about the impact you leave in the lives of others, even when they may never know it was you.